Tell me what's going on, man.
Yeah, we're here. Another nice day in beautiful river. We're getting the
Full flow.
temperature's supposed to get up near 70 for about an hour today, and then
Yeah, well,
the cold front coming through.
What do you want? You know? No, what do you want? I mean,
I know there's climate change, but global warming isn't hitting here. The good thing is the Great Lakes are all overflowing, so we got drinking water.
That's great.
Anyways, that's
Yeah, that's funny. Isn't Arizona about to take ours?
well, our
They
politicians, if you give them if we get a chance, they'll sell it, but that better not happen, or there will be strangling.
There'll be some real problems. So Tommy, let's talk a little bit about the draft that was last Thursday, and how do you think the Bills did?
I think the Bills did really well. I know you grade them and stuff, and really you can't tell till the season starts and years, a
Maybe
couple
2-3 years, yeah.
But obviously, all the number one picks always do. The Arizonas, they do the best. But proof's in the pudding. Down the road and stuff, I think the Bills did well. They didn't get a receiver, okay, but there was none there where when they were picking, and I like the character of the guys they brought in, and let's just see what happens.
What makes me laugh is you get the so-called experts on GR talking about how did we pass up, Johnny Smithers. Well, all you know about Johnny Smithers is his name.
Right.
You don't have a clue what that guy can do or what the problem is. So you know what? Leave it to the experts. And you know what? When we had some of these GMs in the past, I understand second guessing. They were horrific. But you know what? These two guys know what they're doing. And German and Bean, they know what they're doing, and I might be silly, but I'm putting my trust in them. I like who they draft.
And the draft is what it is. It's a draft. It's a little easier than the NHL and say baseball because they're drafting older guys.
Yeah.
But it still is a draft, and you don't know, like we said last week, what's inside these individuals. How much more do they want to improve? Mm-hmm. They've done X in college. Now you got to take the next step, and you find out a lot more about them. You do all that testing and stuff, and but now it's time to prove it. To see how they develop and stuff.
Look at Mike Williams. Can't miss from Texas, left tackle. Guy was awful.
Remember this? I'll block for you, Drew. I'll block for you, Drew.
That was Mike Williams.
That didn't go so well.
He didn't block for him very well.
No, he really didn't.
Ralph Wilson. Remember what was the Ralph Wilson quote? I love this.
That first training campers.
This is about Mike Williams.
He was out. He got sent home for a few days, and Ralph said, "I paid the guy $6 million, and he's depressed." I thought that was a great quote by Ralph. God bless him.
Yeah.
Ralph, that is not.
Not him. No.
Although Williams did end up playing 8 or 9 years in the league.
Yeah, he was nothing like a fourth overall.
No, a right tackle at 4th overall. Yet we had people in our town telling us to draft a right tackle at 9. It's just ludicrous, and I hate to say it, but hey, seriously, trust the process, right?
Right. I mean, look at overall 9. I mean, everybody. I think the morning show guy wanted the receiver at 9. Metcalf. He went 30 something, 40 something.
Yeah. So I guess we were all wrong. The one really impressive thing to me, though, has been not only the free agents, but these rookies all commenting on the facilities the Bills have on One Bills Drive.
Yeah.
This tight end, Dawson Knox, that we picked up, said he could not believe the one floor there, but they have the virtual reality, and you can walk your pass routes. He goes, he's never seen anything like that in college or anywhere, and he went on a lot of visits with other pro teams. So Pagulas are doing an awesome job. They're doing a lot for the players, for their well-being, their healing process. So kudos to all of that.
Well, if you listen to our local yokels, nobody would ever come here.
No,
and
we're irrelevant. We're irrelevant.
These guys are dying to come here. After all the interviews are saying, two guys said before the draft, I hope I go to Buffalo. I mean, are you kidding me?
The stadium's absurd. You can't have the Monday Night Football because the camera can swoop down into the huddle. Like, really, who cares? Yeah. And by the way, we did have that Monday night game, and I thought the camera was fine.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of all that stuff.
And these, billion-dollar palaces and restaurants. Come on. There's nothing wrong with the Ralph. But anyways, I thought the Bills did really good with their draft and
It'll
stuff.
be an exciting summer, I think. Yeah.
I think they're getting far-fetched, too, because a lot of our local yokels were saying, well, I don't see us past 6 wins with anything we've done. Who knows?
No one knows.
We could be past 6 wins. We could have 10, 12. We could have 4. Injuries, a lot of things play a role, but I like the direction that they're headed.
I'm kind of stunned that Vegas came out at 6.5. Look, I don't bet, I don't care. But in general, they put something out there that they hope 50% take under and 50% take over. That's how they make their money from the VIG. Well, 6.5 to me seemed a little low. I'm looking at this team, and again, Tom, you're right. Injuries, anything can happen. But I'm looking at maybe a 9-win team here, and I'm trying to pull back in my excitement, but I really do believe we have a 9-win team.
Well, the key to the Bills is going to be Josh Allen. Does he take
No
the next
question.
step? I think he really impressed me at the end of the year. His ability with his cadence, his changing plays at the line. But he's got to take that next step, right? And that's the key. Josh Allen, what can he do?
Yeah, people forget that he started off a little rough. He took that injury, and when he came back from that injury, I thought, as I said to Tom at the time, that the light bulb went on. I thought the game started slowing down for him. And not perfect or anything like that, but that guy was a leader. He got us to, I think he won 6 games, 5 or 6 games, and
Could have won more.
he could have won more. We had a drop pass on the goal line from our now sent away Clay,
Charles Clay, yep.
and I just saw a lot of things. But anyway, let's hope he comes out, because if that guy takes the next step.
One last quick comment on the draft, too. The last day there, they signed the kid Tyree Jackson from UB, and a lot of our local guys again saying, why him? Why him? Well, first off, I think you should draft a quarterback almost every year. I mean, it's the most important position in the game today. We didn't draft one this year, okay, but we signed Tyree. He was
Projected to be a third day guy.
Right, and
fourth
why
round.
not? He's a big, strong kid with a good arm. He's younger. Let him come in and learn. It's always good to have. You never know if a guy gets injured or something, so it's always good to have that guy in the wings. And why not sign him? I think you should, like goalies in hockey and quarterbacks. You should try and get one every year and see what happens.
Yep. So what else we got today?
Well, news and notes. I see that we got the measles things running wild and stuff out there, and I just wanted to say, Bob Barker used to end the show with, make sure you get your cats and dogs neutered and spayed. You're gonna have to switch that now to get vaccinated, please. I mean, diseases that were eradicated, they're now coming back, and they're coming back stronger. They're not putting chips inside you. If they did, we wouldn't have any missing people.
It's absurd, Tom. And the whole religious thing,
We know where Jimmy Hoffa is.
that's true.
There was a chip.
Pretty
Unless he was down. I don't know how far.
Pretty sure he's under Meadowlands. But anyway, we'll talk more.
Oh, that's been changed on now. Maybe he's not there.
He might be alive somewhere in Nevada. Anyway, what I don't like is, the whole religious belief thing. Okay, religious belief. So you want your kid to die. Here's my problem. You go to jail then for manslaughter if you kill mine. Got it?
Right. Stay out of the schools and parks and everywhere if you didn't get it. That's another reason why we want legal immigration, because we can vet these people and find out what they've been exposed to.
right.
My God, these diseases were once, polio's coming back,
I know.
and whooping cough, and
It's crazy.
hand, foot, and mouth disease. Did you ever have that?
I think you have to touch a horse in the wrong spot to get that.
I thought I had that one time, or because I needed a root canal.
Except, hold on, it's a little scary. I'm going to get a little
Right.
farther away.
Well, no, but it was something like that I had.
Hoof and mouth. That's scary.
Another thing I saw, in the news, I see we have another hero going out and shooting innocent people in mosques or synagogues or churches or whatever. Some guy threw a little kid off the balcony at the mall.
What the?
This is where you wish there was more guys packing, or girls, and put these cowards' little joyride to bed a little sooner. And secondly, they all say, well, I got my courage from him, and I got my courage from him, and inspiration. How about a little Friday Night at the Gallows? See what kind of inspiration you get when he's wiggling around up there like that.
Right,
You ever see it, Henry?
Not the gallows that played hockey for us. I'm talking about the floor falls out and their neck snaps.
Right.
I mean, I'd be the first. I'd love to be first row. I'd love to be first row AC/DC, Van Halen, but I think I'd pay more first row for the Friday at the Gallows.
Oh, that guy in Florida that went into that school and
Yep.
shot those people up. Yeah, I'd buy tickets for that.
Yeah.
And
Well-
then you want inspiration, there you go.
Well, they talk about the security guard who didn't have enough. He was a coward, this and that. Why don't we talk about the coward who walked in there and started shooting kids? That's the coward.
You just wish there was a teacher that could pull it out and just say,
Yeah,
no,
we're
this
into
whole
this.
joyride's all over.
All done.
You know?
Yep.
By the way, the guy in Minnesota, I believe he was an illegal that came over, and he's in the sanctuary, whatever they call that.
Sanctuary state. That's great. Let's have more of those.
Unbelievable. Wanted to hurt an adult, but he fought a kid. Sure he did.
Yeah, that's unreal. Yeah, because the kid's not going to be able to fight him off.
You know, an easy solution there?
What?
Throw him up and over the rail and see what it was like for him to land. Let's see if his God steps in and doesn't get him seriously injured like that. Thank God, that little baby in Minnesota.
Yeah. Let's have
All of America's that's called.
Oh, we have Friday night at the Gallows. Thank you. Friday night at the Gallows. We could have Splat night at the mall.
Would
Just
be
throw
nice.
these idiots off third floors. I like it. There's a major cleanup there, but broken necks are pretty tough.
Well,
to deal with.
the cowards, and it's got to stop, and
Yep.
that infuriates me, and you almost don't want to turn on the news sometimes anymore.
Hey, guy going in with guns and things like that. I want Tommy to tell a story. It's the anniversary of this this happening that Tom was involved in, right over on Walden and Union.
Good friend of Timmy, my good friend Timmy and I were coming back from a jaunt, and we made the left there on Union Road by Alltowns, and Chickawaga police had their guns out, and we said, something's going down here, so we pulled into the parking lot, parked, and when I got out, the guy was sitting right on the rail there with his gun, and I said, hey, how's it going? And he said, get the F out of here. So we ran across the street.
Wait, let me stop right now. You and Timmy pulled in
Yeah, we want to see what was going down.
and a ongoing guy.
Well, we thought it was going on in the restaurant. We didn't realize it was a Scout's Honor hostage situation where he actually left the restaurant. He was in the back and he told all the patrons, stay here.
Yeah, just don't move.
Right.
Then he went in the back of the restaurant with a gun by his car.
He was back on the
and
guardrail.
you said,
Hey,
"How's
how you
it
doing?
going?"
And he said, get the F out of here. So we ran across the street to the lady's lawn, and we're watching the whole thing unfold, and she calls the police because she wanted us off her lawn, you know?
She had flamingos on her lawn.
Yeah, so then it was a hot day. Well, actually, it was a hotter day than today.
What else
And
is there? Okay.
we became parched, and we had realized that there was a 12-pack of Bud in the car, so we military crawled back across and got the beer out and came back across. And in those days, they had little ditches off Union Road, and we got down in the ditch and kind of like a bunker and snapped a couple and took in the whole ordeal.
Okay,
whole
so
ordeal.
let me summarize for our viewers. You and Tim go into a live police situation.
Yes, we did.
You pull next to it, you say, how's it going? He says, get the F
Well,
out.
I didn't know who he was at first, and I did
Yeah.
notice the Smith & Wesson there. And
Okay. Then you said, okay, I better get out of here. And you run across.
well, he told us to get out, so
Okay.
we did.
And you ran across Union
Yes.
Road. Okay. Probably,
Did not leave the keys in the car.
that's good. Now, let me ask you this. Union was probably closed off because of the situation?
It was, yeah, they were shutting it down at the time,
Okay.
so we didn't have to really look both ways.
So you ran across. And then this is interesting, okay? The interesting part to me is you look at each other because it's hot. And there's still a guy over there, and are you parched?
We had just picked up a nice 12-pack of Bud Light, and so we military crawled back over, and
Got the beer.
They were on the horn there, talking to him, giving. So we took that advantage, crawled back over there and got our beer out, slid it out, came back across.
And
And,
snapped a couple.
Snapped a couple because it was a good 45 minutes before he started walking down Union, and so you know, it wet the palate there a little bit. I'll come to find out though, it's not like today's lunatics. He had an unloaded gun. He was ticked off about something in his living conditions, and he really wasn't even armed, and or it wasn't loaded, but it still was scary. But I guess we didn't look at it that way at the time.
Well, can I just say that for any of you viewing this that don't know us, you may think, well, that's absurd. This happened.
Yeah, it's a true story.
This happened. We're going to try to bring a few more of these stories on some of the future
This is
episodes.
straight from the hip. These things are true stories, and
Yeah.
part of our life. And
Some we won't be able to tell because we'd have to clean them up. But that one is a true story. And yeah, and look, I'm pretty crazy. When he told me that after it happened, I was pretty stunned.
well, we're straight from the hip, and we don't just sit back. We'll act. We act on stuff.
We
you know
act.
what I mean?
You don't mess with us.
You got to get involved. To really know what's going on, you got to get involved, get down, and get dirty. And like I
you
said
know
a
what? You
million
better be
times.
quiet. Somebody's going to sue us because they're going to get involved in a hostage situation.
Well,
They're going to say that straight from the hip told me that.
you
Tom guy.
gotta have a feel for the situation.
Okay.
Guy's got Kevlar and stuff on. You might want to drive by, or we probably would have just ran him over in that case. But the real thing is, like I keep saying, if you keep bending over, you're not gonna be able to straighten up one of these days.
True. That's
Yeah.
not. I love that saying. That's the way we end this. And I always say, so because I think we're ready to end this week.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So for me, I say to all the viewers, keep it in your nicks, and
And get vaccinated, please. There's no chips. There's none of that stuff.
no aliens taking over.
No, there's
Just get vaccinated.
There's no half dog, half man creatures roaming around the planet. My God, get vaccinated. Stay on board.
Right. Okay. Shout out to Ryan K, who somehow found me along with Matt in the Sprint store next to where he works, and we went to lunch. That was pretty good.
And my dear friend Tim that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Those of you up in Buffalo, he used to be the Maryville Flyer and the Buff State Bengal, and he's now in New York doing great things and helping a lot of people out there.
Yeah. All right, goodbye, everybody. Till next week.
10-4.